Well, went for a test drive. Steering gearbox is better. She's still pretty squirrely, but... Dad pointed out that, well, that's a 31-inch tall tire. And that's a 29.5. So it's possible that shorter tire is just throwing off all my alignment in my steering. I should get another tire the right size and do a front alignment and make sure she's towed in a touch, because even if she's maybe even towed out, that could be causing me to pull left or right like crazy. All right, to sort out our squirreliness, I'm going to take the short tire, put it on the rear, put the other rear tire on the front. That way both my front tires are the same size. Then we can figure out if having different size tires is causing all this squirreliness. I seem to have lost footage, but after the test drive, it did prove that having the same size tires on each side made a world of difference. There's still a little play, but we will do a little more adjustments further on. But on to the next task. So, time to work on the carburetor again. The original carb has this type of neck so that the air filter can clamp down and hold on it, because the original air filter would come around and then literally hang off the side of the carburetor. Those are hard to find and expensive. So I went with a simpler, easier slide on for the new air filter. We'll have to do something about that shininess. Now the original carb took this from to swap out. It's hard to see, but somebody drew a hole in it, so couldn't use that carburetor. Couldn't use this carburetor because there's no port for the vacuum advance. And this has got a governor on it, so it must have came off an industrial engine or something. So basically took 3 to make this. To start this up and bring it back in the shop to continue working on it again, and it just started pissing fuel down the carburetor. I was like, I just rebuilt this, why is it leaking? Well, now you can't see it anymore, but the culprit was the needle valve, and that piece of gunk was on the needle valve. If you can't close off the fuel, it's just going to keep pumping fuel down its throat. So that's why it didn't work. So that's why you need a filter on your fuel lines. Okay, it's time for a little bit of body work. So I have a temporary rad in right now, and to get the brand new aluminum fit in, we got to start fitting more bracketry to the front of this vehicle. For example, there's a bracket here that actually holds the nose and all the other body panels. So we're going to start on that now, and then maybe move on to the fender brackets as well. Just keep going until I think it's enough. So the bracket's going in. And this isn't the right rad. Anybody else see what I see? Here's the rad, here's the bracket. The rad needs to come back almost into that fan. Brand new aluminum rad. Looks good. It's like a 20-foot paint job. I'll show you why. So it doesn't look too bad, other than the fact that originally this mounting bracket would be way down here, and this would actually fit between the horns. So there's problem number one. That's problem number two. As of right now, you can get the cap on and off, but the upper tank is actually touching that bracket. These hoses are going to have to be shortened. You can see it's just shoved in there for now for stability. And obviously, oil filter will either have to go down, turn sideways or something, fix that. And then try to get the hoses lined up. It's hard to see, but it is a bit of a angle to come all the way out. Okay, so come to the conclusion, the rad sits way too high and way too close to the fan. So we have to do some modification to the mounts. So the plan is going to cut along here and tilt this mount down so it's a little more level on both sides, and see if it's able to bring the rad forward and down enough. Okay, so to get the new rad fit, I have employed woodworking. Hence why we have 2x4s and pieces of scrap holding, sitting down here right now. Let me explain. The 2x4s give me the right height to the rest of the vehicle, and it also gives me the right angle as it sits right now. All the scrap pieces allows me to locate the rad to prevent it sliding in or out. Now I can finish cutting these out and making new uprights to go the uprights on the rad. As you can see, the rad's in, and I also dyed it black, so it's not that bright aluminum or it's still shiny, but at least it's not noticeably aluminum. So the blackout was done with just a simple, actually, taillight dye kit, which is just a spray bomb. It turned out quite nicely, I think. So ridge mounts cut out, new piece put in. What we actually cut out, we welded onto the angle iron to help spread the weight on both sides. The upper hoses have been cut and shortened. Still have to get lower hoses And now to figure out how to get the oil filter back in, because I can't sit down low before because it was running into here and here. So we just might mount it up higher and I'll still be able to get the filter up from below. Well, that escalated quickly. I have fenders on now. So to actually have the rad in place with the nose, you have to have the inner fenders, then the fenders, then another bracket, and then you can put all this together. So the rad's not in 100% right now. I still need lower rad hoses, but other than that, it's pretty much done.